Central Grade artists. Nice to see you this week. Today we are going to work on making a map. A map tells us where to go, how to get places, and we in our house have been talking about when we are able to go out and visit other places in our world where we want to go. And we thought a map would be a good idea. I have a story I'm going to share with you. It's called Me on the Map by Joan Sweeney. So let's switch over, read a story together, and then we'll work on the demonstration. Here we go, ready to listen to the story? While Mrs. Pulliam is reading, I want you to look for clues that help us make a map. What do we need to make a map? So when we start to draw, we'll be able to make some connections. Me on the Map by Joan Sweeney, and the pictures were drawn by Annette Cable. This is me. This is me in my room. This is a map of my room. This is me on the map of my room. This is my house. This is a map of my house. This is my room on the map of my house. This is my street. This is a map of my street. This is my house on the map of my street. This is my town. This is a map of my town. This is my street on the map of my town. What town do we live in? What city do we live in? Traverse City. This is my state. This is a map of my state. This is my town on the map of my state. What state do we live in? Michigan. This is my country, the United States of America. This is a map of my country. This is my map on, this is my state on the map of my country. And right here is Michigan, and we live right here surrounded by the Great Lakes. This is my world. It is called Earth. It looks like a giant ball. If you could unroll the world and make it flat, it would look something like the map of the world. This is my country on the map of the world. Right here, North America, and I still see the Great Lakes. So here's how I find my special place on the map. First, I look at the map of the world and I find my country. Then I look at the map of my country and I find my state. And then I look at the map of my state and I find my town. Then I look at the map of my town and I find my street. Central Grade School is on 7th and 8th Street. And on my street, I find my house. And in my house, I find my room. And in my room, I find me. Just think. In rooms, in houses, on streets, in towns, in countries all over the world, everybody has their own special place on the map. Just like me on the map. And that is the end. Okay, we're ready to make our own maps now. I hope you enjoyed the story. When I looked at the story, I noticed some things in maps that are similar, that most maps have. And when I look back, I see that there's this in the corner. Can you see that? There's the letters N, S, W, and E. That is for north, south, east, and west. That's a compass. It helps us tell which direction to go on the map. I also noticed the map is in a shape, and when it's in a shape, it has something around the edge. That's called a border or a frame, right? And the map has a title. So I thought I'm going to make a map of my art room where I get to make videos. And what I'm going to use is my paper. And with my paper, today's tools, I'm going to have some markers out. You can use crayons, pencils, paint, whatever you might have and your grown-up is helpful for you to get out would be wonderful. The first thing I'm going to do is think about what's in my art room. And I see a big table, I see stools, I have bookcases, a window, a door, a desk. I even have an easel, like the awesome art easel at school. And I have a cart full of supplies. So to get started, I'm gonna make that border. I'm gonna draw 2 lines across from each other, and then 2 lines across from each other that are longer. They never touch. They're known as parallel. Now I'm going to give my border a detail. You should all know what kind of line this is. I chose zigzag. You might choose something else. Bumpy, curvy. Another straight dash. Draw some type of a line to make a frame. Okay, there's the outside of my map, and I'm gonna title it My Art Room. Wonderful. All right, so when you come into my room, there's a door. And I noticed that in the story, the girl would label her spaces in her room. And over here is a window. And if you don't want to write it, you can. You don't have to. Here is my desk. And I have a chair, just like my awesome art chair at school. It has a star on it. And I'm gonna make it look like the drawer is open. And inside I will put a pair of scissors. And maybe you have stuff sitting on your desk. Okay. Over here I have a really big bookcase. I'll draw a couple books. That's where I have all the books that I read to you. In the center is a table that I sit at. And there are some stools around. And then I have a basket of supplies in the middle. Over here is where I have all my art supplies. Crayons and paintbrushes and paints, all sorts of treasures. And here is my art easel, just like the one you saw. All right, here's a map of my room. I did save room for my compass rose, so I'm going to start with a circle. I'm going to put a triangle on the top, triangle on the bottom, one to the left and one to the right. I'll use the letter N, S, E, W. Then I'm going to add some little triangles in between. Maybe you add some patterns. Fun. So go ahead, color this in like we talked about, any of those supplies. Your room doesn't obviously look like mine, but look at this person's room. You can see the bed, a rug, lamp, nightstand, a window, chair, desk. There's the supplies. And even an animal. I should draw Augie in there somewhere because Augie usually comes into my art room. So go ahead, have fun coloring, creating, designing, become a map maker and see where it can take you. I miss you guys. If you make a picture, have your mom or dad email it to Mrs. Pulliam at pulliamst@tcapstudent.net, and I'll be able to share it another time. Take care.